Well, we're back here at the Barnstable Senior Center, a place where we always love coming back to say hello to all the good people here. And one such person that we haven't talked to in a while is Claudia Borden, the outreach coordinator here at the Senior Center. Thanks for being with us, Claudia.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And today we're having a conversation with you about a program called Conversations with Claudia. So I guess we're in the right place and we're talking to the right person. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, what the program is, and I know you're specifically trying to help a certain population of people with this.
Absolutely. What I have found over the years is that I'm getting a lot of telephone calls from children of elders saying, I've noticed something with my parents, or my parents need me, or we need to get help in the house, or for some reason they're calling me and saying, what can I do about mom and dad? And this has become more and more as time has gone by, because elders are living a lot longer, and it's not uncommon to be 60 years old and still have an 80-year-old mother that you have to help. So what we've done is we're trying to outreach to that population. They call it the sandwich generation.
Okay.
It's that demographic that is not only raising maybe their teenage children, but now are also concerned about their parents. And that's a demographic we're looking for. That's one of the reasons why we did it outside of my normal working hours. We're offering this opportunity for people to come, and we'd like them to sign up first, but just to come and talk to me, ask me questions about, what do I do with mom? How do we get mom to stop driving? Or how do we get dad to eat better? Or how come he isn't getting his medicine? How come this? How come that? We've had one already, and I was really happy with the format, because what happened is, if one person was too shy to ask a question, somebody else asked the correct question. So they were sort of feeding off each other's questions, and I was able to direct people to the services they may need, or maybe just explain to them, this is what mom and dad have for insurance, or this is what you need to look for.
Okay. Now, let's see if we can kind of talk through one type of situation. And I know something that's been in the news over the course of the last year quite often is situations happening with elderly drivers that maybe shouldn't be behind the wheel, and maybe something bad has happened. So how do you begin to approach that type of a situation, especially how do you advise a younger person to breach that kind of uncomfortable topic with a mom or a dad?
It's very hard, and what I always want people to understand is, it's not just, let's take dad's driver's license away. It is never that easy, because when you take that driver's license away, you take their independence away, you take their ability to get their medicine, to get their food. It's a huge problem. So it's not a matter of just taking something away. You have to make sure that there are services in place, that either someone in your family is willing to do this, or they know how to work our van system or the B-bus system, any of that. You can't take something away without replacing it. And that's a huge problem. And sometimes maybe you're too busy to take them grocery shopping. Well, did you know that in the town of Barnstable, there's this possibility, this possibility, this possibility? So that's one of my big concerns is, yes, I hear, oh, we got to take dad's license away, but I never hear anybody say, oh, yeah, we're going to run all his errands, because we're going to make sure he gets to that club meeting or to church or whatever. So that's a big concern. And yeah, it is. It's a very tricky subject, and it's something that you have to sort of nibble at the edges.
And I think that that's really valuable advice, and that's part of the reason why this program exists now, is that it's like you said, it's so much more complicated than just saying, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be driving anymore. We're taking your license. I mean, you still, because you're taking away a lot more than that, and you have to sort of replace it with something else, like you just said. And there's so many other questions and considerations like that, and I want to address more of them in a second. But let's first talk about when these conversations with you happen and how people can get involved.
We are doing them, we're offering them twice a month. It's the second and the fourth Tuesday between 5 and 6. I'm keeping the group small, so we're asking people to call ahead of time and reserve a space. We're doing 8 at the most. But we will continue them for as long as they seem necessary and as long as there's an interest. And basically what they're going to do is come to the Senior Center. We're meeting down in the next resource library where we have public computers, so if there's something in question about insurance, we can go to the computer. My office is right next door. All the resources that I have in my office, I will make available to these people. And it's also not just because your parents are in Barnstable. Some of these truths are universal truths.
Sure.
Some of these conversations, your mother may be in Iowa, but you know what? What I'm going to tell you is the same as what they would tell her in Iowa. These are the things that you need to know. These are the papers that you need to know about. This is the information you need to know about your parents. And maybe here's a little bit about how to get that information. What kind of conversations should you have with your parents at what stages in their lives and your lives?
Now, in the modern age that we live in, a husband and a wife type of situation, or maybe not even, maybe a single parent type of situation, generally both people are employed, people are busy, people are working more hours now, and so that might leave a lack of time to take care of an older loved one that needs that type of care. If somebody comes to you with questions like that, like, I'm extremely busy, I know I really want to take care of my mom or my dad, but I just can't be around as much as I'd like to. What do you say in a situation like that?
There are a lot of resources, and there's a lot of things you have to look at, and most of it's finances, because if you're going to bring in an agency, that's going to cost a lot of money. But if we have social day programs. Maybe you're concerned about your parents being home alone, or your mom, single person, being home all by themselves all day. Well, have you considered this? Do you know that in your community these options are available? They could go to a social day program where people have a great time here, and I know all towns have not all, but there's access to social day programs in most of the towns on the Cape. I know they're across the country. There's some place like that. Or if they need personal care, what can we do? What agency can we connect them up to? It depends. Everything is individual. That's why I can't go in front of a large crowd and say, here's what you need to know.
Right.
Because everything is individual. It depends on your parents' personal circumstances, when you're choosing to intervene, and how much you want to intervene at. I mean, you don't have to go to the grocery store for your mother. You could do it online. You could shop now online and just get the list and make sure it gets done. Or there's a professional shopper here on the Cape. He goes and brings the food right into the house, or we can arrange for a bee bus to take you, or the van service will take you, drop you off, pick them up. So there's a lot of individual choices, and it depends on how much you want to get involved or how little and when. And I'm hoping that this is when they will call me and come and talk about it.
I think it's important to note that this is what you do. This is your job. You're here at the Senior Center essentially to connect people with resources and provide people advice.
Absolutely. And I've been doing it for 10 years. So I think once a year maybe I'll get a situation I haven't seen before. But even if I haven't, I will absolutely do the research, and I will figure out what we need to do and who we need to contact here in Barnstable. Or I've been known to help people actually all over the country. It's just in this age of computers, it's a matter of going online, going to that town, going to that senior center, calling that person, making that connection for them as, here's the resources that you have available, and this is the person you need to contact. And I've done that too. It's all about information. It's all about who you go to answer maybe a simple question or a complex question.
Sure. And once again, let's just mention when this takes place, where it takes place, and again, how people can get involved.
Okay. It's basically just a matter of calling the Senior Center, call our front desk, which is 508-862-4750. Call them and say you want to come and talk to me. It's Conversations with Claudia. And if we do it on the second and the fourth Tuesday from 5 to 6. Even if you call in that morning, we can get you in. We just want to make sure that we don't get more than 8 people. We don't want it to be too much.
Because of what you said, everybody has an individual situation.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So the next, just if you're looking for a reference, the next conversation with Claudia will end up being the second Tuesday in April, which is April 12th, 5 to 6 p.m. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. Well, Claudia, thank you for having a conversation with us. And
pleasure.
Hopefully a lot of people will take advantage of the conversations with you later in April.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Now, let's take a look at this week's meetings.